Have you ever noticed that the deepest peace you've ever felt came not from acquiring something new, but from letting go of something old? That the most profound healing happened not when you were trying to fix yourself, but when you finally surrendered to the process of simply being. There exists within you right now in this very moment a doorway to what Dr. Hugh Len called State Zero, a place of perfect peace, infinite possibility and divine connection that requires nothing from you except your willingness to release what no longer serves your highest good. Dr. Hugh Len spent decades discovering that the path to this sacred state wasn't through complicated spiritual practices or years of therapy, but through something so beautifully simple that most people overlook it entirely. He found that within each of us lives a divine child, an aspect of our consciousness that knows exactly how to return home to our original essence. This inner child, this unihipili, as the Hawaiian tradition calls it, has been waiting patiently your entire life for you to remember this sacred partnership, to acknowledge its presence, and to work together in the gentle art of coming home to yourself. The most beautiful truth that Dr. Len discovered is that you don't need to understand how this works. You don't need to believe in it intellectually. You don't need to have perfect faith or be spiritually advanced. The divine intelligence within you is so loving, so patient, so infinitely wise, that it responds to the simplest invitation from your heart. All you need is a willingness to say yes to the possibility that there might be an easier way to experience peace, and gentler path to healing, a more natural way to live in harmony with yourself and the world around you. State Zero isn't a place you go to. It's a place you return to. It's not something you achieve, it's something you remember. It's the original state of your soul before it was covered over by layers of memory, conditioning, and the beautiful but sometimes painful experience of being human. In State Zero, there are no problems to solve because there is no separation from the source of all solutions. There is no lack because you remember your inherent wholeness. There is no fear because you rest in the arms of infinite love. Tonight, as you allow these words to wash over you like gentle waves on a peaceful shore, something within you is already beginning to soften. Your nervous system is starting to remember what it feels like to be completely safe, completely held, completely loved, exactly as you are right now. This is not about becoming someone different or better. This is about remembering who you have always been beneath the layers of worry, beneath the masks you've worn, beneath the stories you've told yourself about why you can't have peace right now. Dr. Len's greatest gift to the world was showing us that healing doesn't have to be complicated, that returning to our natural state of love doesn't require years of work or perfect understanding. He discovered that when we establish a loving relationship with the deepest part of ourselves, that innocent, wise, divine child within, miracles become as natural as breathing. This inner child has been collecting every experience, every memory, every hurt and every joy, waiting for the day when you would finally turn toward it with love and ask, "What do you need to be free?" The practice of Ho'oponopono that Dr. Len shared is like having a conversation with the most loving friend you could imagine, except that friend lives inside your own heart. It's a practice of taking responsibility, not in the harsh way the world teaches us, but in the most tender way possible, by acknowledging that within your consciousness lies the power to transform any experience through love. When you say, "I'm sorry" to this divine child within, you're not admitting fault. You're acknowledging the pain that has been carried. When you say, "Please forgive me," you're not groveling. You're asking for the grace to release what has kept you separate from love. As you breathe right now, feel your heart beginning to open like a flower that has been waiting for the sun. There is no rush, no pressure, no need to do this perfectly. Your willingness is enough. Your presence here, listening to these words, is already a prayer in itself. The very fact that something within you was drawn to this message means that your soul is ready to remember the easiest way home to itself. If you're feeling something stirring in your heart right now, if these words are touching something deep and true within you, I want you to know that you're not alone in this journey. There's something so beautiful about souls finding each other in this vast world, drawn together by the same longing for peace, for healing, for remembrance of our true nature. Would you take a moment and leave a comment below sharing what brought you here tonight? What is your heart seeking? Sometimes just expressing our longing out loud is the first step toward receiving what we need. And if you feel called to walk this path with us, to continue exploring these ancient ways of returning home to yourself, please consider becoming part of our sacred circle by subscribing. Your presence here matters more than you know. What Dr. Hugh Len understood, and what he spent his life sharing with the world, is that State Zero is not a destination you journey toward. It's a recognition of where you already are. Underneath every worry, beneath every fear, beyond every story of limitation, your soul rests in perfect peace. The waves on the surface of the ocean may be turbulent, but in the depths, there is only stillness. In the depths of your being, there has always been only love, only wholeness, only infinite possibility waiting to be recognized. The beauty of this ancient Hawaiian practice is that it works with the natural intelligence of your heart. You don't need to figure anything out or analyze your problems or understand the psychology behind your patterns. You simply need to turn toward the divine child within you with the same tenderness you would offer to any beloved child who's been carrying too much, and invite this partnership in letting go. This divine child, your unihippoly, has been waiting your entire life for this moment when you would finally say, "I see you, I love you, let's do this together." When you enter into this sacred relationship with yourself, something miraculous begins to happen. The memories that have been creating struggle in your life, some from childhood, some inherited from your ancestors, some picked up from the collective field of human experience, these memories begin to surface gently, not to torment you, but to be released. It's as if your inner child has been cleaning house, waiting for permission to let go of everything that doesn't belong to your peace, everything that isn't aligned with your highest good, everything that has been weighing down your natural joy. State Zero isn't empty, it's full of possibility, full of love, full of the creative power of the universe flowing freely through you without obstruction. In this state, you don't need to make things happen because life flows naturally. You don't need to force solutions because solutions arise organically. You don't need to protect yourself because you remember that you are held by something infinitely larger and more loving than any challenge you could face. This is the state that Dr. Len lived from, the state that allowed him to facilitate miraculous healings in himself and others, the state that is available to you right now, not through doing more, but through allowing what is already perfect within you to be revealed. As we continue this journey together into the heart of Ho'oponopono, feel yourself settling more deeply into trust. Trust that you don't need to have all the answers. Trust that your willingness is enough. Trust that the same divine intelligence that beats your heart and grows your hair knows exactly how to guide you home to yourself. All you need to do is say yes. The miraculous truth that Dr. Hugh Len discovered through decades of working with State Zero is that this sacred place of perfect peace isn't something you earn through good behavior or spiritual achievement. It's not a reward for having the right beliefs or doing enough meditation or clearing all your karma. State Zero is your birthright, your natural inheritance as a divine being having a human experience. It's the ground of your being, the essence of who you are when all the layers of conditioning and programming and old stories are gently peeled away like old paint from a beautiful piece of furniture underneath. Every single day, you have countless opportunities to choose State Zero over the noise of the mind, to choose peace over the drama of personality, to choose love over the habit of fear. But here's what makes Dr. Len's approach so revolutionary. He discovered that you don't have to fight these other states or try to overcome them through willpower. You simply invite your divine child, your unihipili, to carry them to the light for transformation. It's like having the most loving friend you could imagine, someone who never judges you, never gets tired of helping you, never tells you that you should be different than you are. When you wake up tomorrow morning before your feet even touch the floor, you can establish this sacred partnership for the day ahead. You can place your hand on your heart and speak to that innocent, wise part of yourself that has been waiting patiently for this invitation. Good morning, beloved one. Thank you for watching over me through the night. Today, I invite you to help me remember who I really am. Whenever I forget, whenever I get caught up in the world of problems and struggles, please gently guide me home to State Zero, to the place where only love is real. This isn't about positive thinking or trying to override your humanity. This is about remembering that you have divine support available in every moment, that you're never alone in your challenges, that there's always a way back to peace, no matter how far you feel you've wandered from it. Your unihippoly doesn't need you to be perfect. It doesn't need you to understand how this works or even to believe it will work. It simply needs your willingness to say yes, to the possibility that healing can be gentle, that transformation can be natural, that coming home to yourself can be the easiest thing you've ever done. As you continue breathing softly, allowing these words to settle into the deepest places of your heart, you might notice something beginning to shift inside you. Perhaps a softening around the edges of old pain, a gentle loosening of tension you didn't even realize you were holding, a quiet stirring of hope that maybe, just maybe, there really is an easier way to live. This is your soul recognizing truth, your inner wisdom awakening to the remembrance of what it has always known, that you are loved beyond measure, that you are held in ways you cannot even imagine, that you are never as alone or as broken as your mind sometimes tells you. Dr. Len's greatest gift was showing us that the 4 sacred phrases of Ho'oponopono, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you," are not just words to repeat, but doorways into a completely different way of being with life. When you say "I'm sorry" to your divine child, you're acknowledging all the ways you've forgotten your true nature, all the times you've believed in limitation instead of love, all the moments you've treated yourself with harshness instead of tenderness. It's not about guilt or shame. It's about compassion for the human journey with all its beautiful imperfections. When you say "please forgive me," you're asking for the grace to release the old patterns, the outdated beliefs, the inherited wounds that have been creating suffering in your experience. You're asking for the healing that comes not through struggling or efforting, but through the divine mercy that is always available, always flowing, always ready to wash you clean in the waters of infinite love. "I love you" is perhaps the most healing phrase of all, because it's a recognition of the divine spark that lives at the core of every experience, every memory, every aspect of yourself that you've been trying to fix or change or improve. And thank you. These words carry the vibration of completion, of trust, of knowing that the healing is already happening, even when you can't see it, even when you can't feel it, even when your mind tells you nothing is changing. Gratitude is the frequency of state 0, the natural response of a heart that remembers its connection to the infinite source of all good, all healing, all love. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, you can offer these 4 sacred doorways to your divine child and trust that while you sleep, miracles will be unfolding in the invisible dimensions of your being. There's something I need to share with you, something that feels important for me to say before we go deeper into this sacred journey together. If you're still here, still listening, still feeling the resonance of these words in your heart, it means something beautiful is happening. It means your soul is ready for this remembering, this coming home to yourself. I'm deeply moved by your presence here, by your willingness to explore these ancient pathways to peace. Would you take a moment and share with me in the comments what's stirring in your heart right now? What memories are surfacing? What hopes are awakening? Sometimes the simple act of witnessing our own experience, of putting words to the movements of our soul, can deepen the healing that's already beginning. And if there's a particular area of your life where you're longing for more peace, more healing, more of this state 0 energy, please let me know. Your heart's desires matter, and I'd love to create more content that speaks directly to what you're experiencing on your journey home to yourself. In the gentle silence that follows these sacred words, something profound is available to you. Dr. Hugh Len discovered that state 0 isn't actually a place you go to, it's a place you uncover, like an archaeologist carefully brushing away centuries of dust and debris to reveal the treasure that was always there. Every worry that has ever kept you awake at night, every fear that has made your stomach tight, every sadness that has felt too heavy to carry, all of these are simply layers of dust covering the luminous truth of who you are. They're not permanent features of your landscape. They're temporary weather patterns moving across the eternal sky of your being. What makes this path so different from other approaches to healing is that you don't have to analyze or understand or even remember all the experiences that created these layers. Your divine child, your Unihipili, has perfect memory and perfect wisdom about what needs to be released and when. It's like having the most skilled gardener tending the garden of your consciousness, knowing exactly which weeds need to be pulled, which flowers need water, which areas need more sunlight. All you have to do is give permission for this divine gardening to take place. The original Ho'oponopono prayer that Morrnah Simeona, Dr. Len's teacher, received is a beautiful roadmap for this process. Divine Creator, Father, Mother, Son, as one. If I, my family, relatives and ancestors have offended you, your family, relatives, and ancestors in thoughts, words, deeds, and actions, from the beginning of our creation to the present, we ask your forgiveness. Let this cleanse, purify, release, cut all the negative memories, blocks, energies, and vibrations, and transmute these unwanted energies to pure light. And it is done. This prayer acknowledges something that Western psychology is only beginning to understand, that we carry not only our own experiences, but the unhealed experiences of our lineage, our ancestors, our collective human family. When you invite your divine child to work with this prayer, you're not just healing your own wounds, you're participating in the healing of your entire family tree, both forward and backward through time. You become a point of light in your ancestral line, a place where old patterns of suffering can finally be transformed into love. As we journey deeper into the heart of this ancient practice, you might find yourself wondering how something so simple can be so powerful. The mind loves complexity, loves to make healing into a complicated process that requires years of work and perfect understanding. But your soul knows better. Your soul remembers that the most profound transformations happen not through doing more, but through being willing to receive what has always been freely given, the infinite love and healing grace that is your true nature. Tonight, I want to guide you into a direct experience of State Zero, not as a concept or idea, but as a living reality that you can touch and taste and rest in. Allow your eyes to soften or close completely. Feel your body settling into whatever surface is supporting you. Notice that you don't have to hold yourself up. Something else is doing that for you. This is the first doorway into remembering. You are held by forces much larger and more loving than your individual will. Take a moment to appreciate your breath. You don't have to make it happen, it's happening for you, through you as you. With each exhale, imagine releasing anything that feels heavy, anything that doesn't belong to your peace. You don't need to name it or understand it. Just let your breath carry it away like leaves floating down a gentle stream. With each inhale, imagine drawing in the pure essence of love, the frequency of State Zero, the remembrance of who you truly are beneath all the stories and roles and identities you've worn. Now place your hand on your heart and speak silently to your divine child. Beloved one, I'm ready to remember. I'm ready to come home to the truth of who I am. Please help me release anything that keeps me from resting in perfect love. I'm sorry for all the times I've forgotten. Please forgive me for believing in separation. I love you exactly as you are. Thank you for this opportunity to return to wholeness. Feel these words not just as concepts, but as living bridges connecting you to the infinite ocean of divine love that is your source and your destination. In this sacred space we've created together, something beautiful is happening that extends far beyond your individual healing. Dr. Hugh Len understood that when one person genuinely returns to State Zero, it creates ripples of healing that touch everyone in their field of influence. Your willingness to remember your true nature doesn't just heal you. It contributes to the healing of your family, your community, your world. You become a tuning fork of peace, and everyone who comes into your presence gets an opportunity to remember their own peace. This is perhaps the most beautiful aspect of the Ho'oponopono path. It transforms you into what Dr. Len called a cleaning station. Not in a mechanical way, but in the most natural way possible. Like a flower that can't help but share its fragrance, when you're resting in State Zero, you can't help but radiate peace. People feel calmer around you without knowing why. Situations that used to trigger drama somehow resolve themselves more easily. Opportunities appear that are perfectly aligned with your highest good. It's as if the universe recognizes that you've remembered who you are and responds by bringing you experiences that match that remembrance. But here's what makes this path so gentle and sustainable. You don't have to be perfect at it. You don't have to maintain State Zero every moment of every day. Your divine child is infinitely patient and will work with whatever willingness you can offer, whether that's 5 minutes in the morning or a simple prayer before sleep, or just a quiet, "I love you," whispered to yourself when life feels overwhelming. The key is consistency of intention, not perfection of practice. As we begin to move toward the close of our time together tonight, I want you to feel into the truth that this isn't really an ending, it's a beginning. You're not the same person who started listening to these words. Something has shifted, something has opened, something has remembered itself within you. That something is State Zero, your natural state of peace, your birthright of love, your inherent connection to all that is sacred and eternal. It was never really lost, just temporarily forgotten, and now it's beginning to remember itself through your willingness to say yes to healing, yes to wholeness, yes to coming home to yourself. And so we arrive at this sacred moment of completion, though in truth nothing is ever really completed, only transformed, only deepened, only expanded into greater circles of love. As you prepare to carry the energy of state zero with you into your daily life, into your relationships, into your work and your dreams and your quiet moments of reflection, remember that you now have a sacred technology for transformation that requires nothing from the outside world. You carry within your own heart everything you need to return to peace, to remember your divinity, to live from the place of infinite possibility. The 4 sacred phrases, "I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you," are now like seeds planted in the fertile soil of your consciousness. You don't need to tend them anxiously or check their progress constantly. Trust that your divine child knows exactly how to nurture these seeds into full bloom. Trust that the same intelligence that grows a mighty oak from a tiny acorn knows how to grow miracles from your willingness to love. Trust that state zero is not a destination you're traveling toward, but the ground you're already standing on, the air you're already breathing, the love you already are. In the days and weeks ahead, as you experiment with living from this place of remembrance, be gentle with yourself when you forget. The forgetting is part of the human experience, and even the forgetting serves the greater awakening. Each time you catch yourself caught up in drama or worry or the old patterns of struggle, you can simply smile and say, "Oh, there I go again, being human. Thank you for reminding me, beloved one, let's come home together." And in that instant of choosing love over fear, choosing peace over drama, choosing state zero over the noise of the mind, you participate in the greatest healing the world has ever known, the remembering of who we really are. Dr. Hugh Len spent his life sharing this simple truth. We are each walking, breathing miracles of love, disguised as ordinary human beings. Tonight, you've been invited to remove the disguise, to remember the miracle, to take your place in the great awakening that is happening on our planet. Your willingness to heal doesn't just transform your own life. It adds to the collective field of healing that is available to every soul who is ready to remember their way home. As you rest tonight, as you go about your days ahead, as you encounter the beautiful challenges and opportunities that are perfectly designed to help you grow into ever greater expressions of love, carry with you this knowing: you are never alone, you are always loved, and you have direct access to the infinite source of healing, wisdom, and peace that lives at the very center of your being. State zero is not something you achieve, it's something you are. Ho'oponopono is not something you do. It's a way of living in constant partnership with the divine love that you are. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. Aloha.